Hey everyone, welcome back to a figure review. This time I'll be doing another review of Marvel Legends. This time I'll be reviewing Apocalypse. This is part of the whole Marvel Legends retro collection wave thing. Gotta find a better way to word it. Now, those of you who don't know who Apocalypse is, he made a cameo appearance in X Factor issue 5 in June 1986. He then made a full appearance in X Factor issue 6 in July 1986. So his real name, or a name that was given to him, is En Sabah Noor, which in Arabic it actually means the morning light, but for some reason Marvel did their own translation where it actually is the first one. I don't know why though, but he was taken in by a man named Ball after he was abandoned by his family, I guess. You know, due to gray skin and blue lips, I guess. Maybe even red eyes too. Anyway, it's taken in by him, named En Sabah Noor. For some reason, he saw a lot of potential in young Apocalypse there, with his strong will to survive, and has a philosophy to basically the strongest shall survive to the finish. That is pretty much it. At some point, his mentor got killed by Ozymandias, not Ozymandias from DC. So somewhere down the line, young Apocalypse discovered a ship which turned out to be a Celestial, and the Celestial ship kind of bonded with Apocalypse, and both like flesh and machine, I guess. It's a bit confusing for me, but you know, let's just keep going. So he has a lot of powers. He's also the very first mutant to begin with, supposedly. So that's pretty much all I got about Apocalypse. So with that being said, let's take this figure out. So here we are with this figure out, and I'm not gonna lie, this figure actually does look pretty cool. It's very simplistic, straightforward, and cool at the same time. You know, I missed out on 2 Apocalypse figures. One from Toy Biz from the early 2000s, and the latest Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. That being said, let's get with the articulation of this figure. Okay, now the head can go, well, can't go 360 because the collar thing, I don't know what you call it. The head can go up and down to a certain degree. You know, you can't exactly do a 360, but you can turn his head to the left or to the right, your left or your right, whatever. Okay, the abs can crunch. The waist can swivel, although this could cause a problem though with the belt. Okay, the arms can, basically you get limited movement because the shoulder pad, or whatever it is that you call it, gets in the way. You can do this. The biceps can swivel to a certain degree. Only problem is this is the tube thing. You know, could be a problem. The elbows can only go up to a certain degree. The hand can swivel, no problem. You can even do this too. Alright, so the hips can go forward. You can't do it backwards because of the ass. The thighs can swivel. You can do a Jean-Claude Van Damme split, but not all the way. The knees are double jointed. Good enough. Alright, so the ankles have a great ball hinge, so it should come in handy if you're doing some dynamic poses. Okay, since I got the articulation taken care of, let's get on with the accessories. Alright, so here we are with the accessories for this figure. As you can see, it does come with a alternative head for Apocalypse, where he's a lot more calm. And, you know, still a frowny face, but, you know, much calmer, I guess. As you can see, it does come with 2 closed fists for Apocalypse. If you look really closely, you can see it's all sculpted pretty well. You know, I'm glad they didn't half-ass it by painting in there. And last but not least, the arm blaster or arm cannon. You know, let's not forget, you know, Apocalypse has the ability to like basically morph his whole body to pretty much anything. Weapons, blades, even a chainsaw. Since I'm done talking about the accessories, how about I just do the good and bad for this figure? You know, my final thoughts. We'll be right back with Jerry's final thoughts. Okay, so how about we start with the bad first? The bad. Lack of articulation for this figure. My guess is the body mold had something to do with it, and also the shoulder pads. I mean, you can still do certain poses with it, it's just you gotta be very smart about it. Also, you gotta be careful how you do it. See, another thing for the bad, the whole color scheme for this figure. I know this is based on the anime series, and I don't know why in the anime series they decided to use blue and purple for some reason, instead of using his color scheme from the comic books, which was, it either was blue or dark blue, or blue and gray, or blue and dark gray, or blue and black. You know, I've always did find it kind of weird every time I would open a comic book and I see Apocalypse. He's always in a different shade of color. You know, he's mostly blue. You know, it's just like whole rest of his body. I can't tell either that's either supposed to be blue or gray or black. So that's just me. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure other people that's reviewing this figure wouldn't have any problem with the color scheme, but you know, I do. I would prefer they stick with the comic book look better. By luck, I mean this color scheme. Another thing for the bad is the whole lack of details. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, the changeable head, the two changeable hands, my correction, and the arm blaster. You know, it's cool accessories, but you know, they're kind of cool. They would add in more stuff to it. Like this one Apocalypse figure I had from Toy Biz, where it had like detachable arms, where like this one arm was like a claw-like clamp, the other arm was like a drill arm, and what did it come with anything else? I'm trying to remember this or not, but like, you know, it would be kind of cool for this figure if they were to add in like, you know, like an axe arm or sword arm or like a mace arm, something like that. I mean, that would be kind of cool if they were to do something like that. Maybe they can add in a cape for this figure though. You know, it'd be kind of cool. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. Also Ultimate Apocalypse, because I think he had a cape and hood. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Also, I forgot to add another thing for the bad. You know, the tubes, you know, they keep on falling out. You know, it would be kind of cool if they were not use plastic, but use like some kind of bendy wire. You know, that would be kind of cool if they were to do something like that. What's going on with the good? The body mold is actually pretty good. You know, I like the fact this figure is pretty big, because the Apocalypse is a pretty big guy. And not to mention, he looks like he's the kind of guy who can give a Hulk a run his money. That's just me. Also, I like the sculpting for this figure. You know, like I mentioned earlier, you can see the veins in his biceps. If you look at his hands, you can see, like, you know, every detail when it comes to sculpting, and it's really amazing. And you know, like this other head I talked about, like where his other head, where you see his teeth, and like, you know, that's really cool. They did that. It didn't half-ass it by painting it. The sculpting is pretty good. So I'm basically done talking about this figure, so it's time to wrap this up. If you guys like this video, you know, please leave a like, please comment, because I like to know what you guys think. Also click on the notification so you'll be updated when the next video shows up, and also subscribe. Okay, I forgot to add this. Shit. Okay, here's a fun detail I almost forgot to put it. Fuck. I like the fact they sculpted it in so. Fuck. Okay, here's something I almost forgot. Fuck. Okay, so here's a fun detail I almost forgot. Okay, so here are the accessories for this figure. Now, if you look real closely, you can see the detail. Fuck. Alright, so here we are with the detail. Fuck.